Hello everyone, we're here live at the Royal Bird Hotels ALAGBAKA, AKURE, where the Queen Luciano Foundation is celebrating the 2022 International Women's Day with the hashtag Breaking the Bias. We're truly breaking the bias here today as we have a special program organized for the women across different sectors and organizations. We're going to be having empowerment programs and of course enlightenment about breast cancer, and the most important thing, the discussion about this year's theme, gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Now trust me, a lot of guests and a lot of women, most especially from different associations within ONDO State, have been coming into Grace's occasion today. It promises to be fun as we have a lot of programs highlighted for today's celebration. This is Queen Luciano Foundation. Stay tuned.
Good morning to our fathers, good morning to our daddies too as well. Thank you so much for coming. We are from Queen Luciano Foundation. First of all, I would love to teach us our slogan because as this program is moving on, we are going to be, we communicate with the slogan. So let me teach you, once we say Queen Luciano Foundation, your reply will be building a strong foundation for the future. QLF, building it. Okay, let me try once again. QLF, building a strong foundation for the future. So thank you so much. So right now we want to start the program officially, and we are to bring those of our people that are supposed to, educate us more on what we are here to learn. So the first, we are to call on the high table, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause as I bring forward Mrs. Jane, I know, that is the ONDO Station Radio Vision Corporation. Please, a round of applause for them. Bring forward Dr. Mrs. Adegbengbe. Dr. Mrs. Adegbengbe. Please, a round of applause for our mommy. She always supports us anytime we come for any help, anytime, even though it's not comfortable for her. Thank you so much, mom, for coming. God bless you. And already on seat is, we call him our chairman. Of course, it's the highest of Queen Luciano Foundation, everybody that way. It's another person than Mr. Osa Yogiri Uwaifo. I'm actually correct, sir. So please a round of applause for my boss. This is the chairman of Queen Luciano Foundation, of course. The secretary board of trustee, that is the secretary all over. Anything that happens to do with Queen Luciano Foundation is our boss. And please want to say thank you so much, sir, for coming all the way from Abuja. So right now we are going to be having the opening prayer. Then immediately after the opening prayer, we move to the next agenda on our programs. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name. Heavenly Father, we thank you because before we were born, we've been here today. We thank you for the life of every woman all over the world today as we celebrate them. Father, we pray, wipe away tears in the name of Jesus. Amen. Father, our achievement today, oh Lord, will be great in the name of Jesus. Amen. Everyone who have come here will not go the same way they have come. Father, we are going to learn. Give us wisdom, oh Lord, in the name of Jesus. Amen. Every guest speaker who will be speaking today, Father, they will speak to our understanding in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you for this gathering in Jesus' name we are praying. In the name of the Father.
The chairman of this foundation, Mrs. Lucy Tankwa, Queen Luciano Foundation, ably represented by the Secretary Board of Trustees of the Foundation, Mr. Waifo. You're welcome. Our guest speakers for today, you're all welcome. Our invited guests, our mothers, my aunties, and sisters here this morning, I welcome you all to this event. A very warm welcome to 2022 Women's Day, International Women's Day celebration. It is indeed an honor for me this morning, on behalf of Queen Luciano Foundation, to be granted this opportunity to provide a few opening remarks in commemoration of 2022 International Women's Day celebration. Queen Luciano Foundation has put together this lovely and beautiful event to commemorate this year's International Women's Day celebration. Queen Luciano Foundation is an independent, registered, non-government and non-profit organization based in AKURE, ONDO State, Nigeria. Our motto is QLF, building a strong foundation for the future. Queen Luciano Foundation, we started out on 14 December 2021 as a group of educated and like-minded individuals headed by a diligent and kind-hearted woman, Mrs. Lucy Tankwa Queen Luciano, who assembled a team of volunteers to establish a non-governmental organization aimed at addressing the most pressing need of the immediate society, most especially vulnerable children and women. We are on a mission to help renew the hope and strength of children who have dreams and potentials, and also give supporting hands to vulnerable women to achieve their dreams and support their children. We strive to expand our programs and offerings to the streets and communities. Since the inception of the foundation, we have been able to carry out some pet projects, which include feeding of the destitute along Obadeshida Road, visitation to Agoreti Leprosy Home, and a visit to Queen's College, Onimalu Ijoka, to celebrate the Valentine's Day by sharing gift items to all the students in the school. Today, the foundation is playing host to 80 women across the state, where there will be advocacy on the theme of this year's celebration: gender equality for today, for a sustainable tomorrow. Then secondly, the role of women in our society and cancer awareness and prevention. Also, there will be empowerment for 10 women in different skills. 4 fashion designers will be empowered before the end of this program, 3 hairdressing, and 3 caterers will all be empowered before the end of this program. The primary aim of this event is to enlighten women about their relevance in the growing and fast-changing society, and most especially empower them so that they can contribute as an agent of change to their immediate society. Finally, my dear mothers, aunties, sisters, let me leave you with these few words of Luciano Abarjo. He said, and I quote, "The best advice I could give to a woman is, whatever you do, be different. Don't try to imitate man. Be more ambitious, be more persevering, and trust yourself. Excellence is the best way to defeat sexism. But don't fear failure. Dare and get what you want as an independent woman, who does not let herself influenced by what others might think." My dear mothers, distinguished guests, thank you for listening. God bless you.
A very big thank you to everyone that has come to witness this amazing event today. I would say this is a mark of a big celebration, because women rule the world, either the men here like it or not. I'm not creating any bad blood, but women rule the world, and this is the reason why I said that we should write a shout out, because we are worth celebrating. I am still a young lady, but I'm a potential woman and I'm a potential mother, and I know I've experienced our mothers, our sisters, what they've been doing, and I'll really say it is really commendable. So it is with this, I think reading of shout-outs is going to come up about 3 times in this program. So I'll be taking the first section now. Okay, this is an anonymous. She said, "To every supportive mom and to my great mothers and women out there, God bless you and uphold you." This is in Yoruba. Sí ìyá wọn, sí àwọn obìnrin rere This is to all the women, to all the mothers, well done and well done for the great job. Happy International Women's Day to my sister, mother-in-law. I love you. We're all stronger together. Definitely, we're strong together. A shout out to all the women of St. Louis Catholic Church and the founder head, Mrs. Lucy. Happy International Women's Day to you. That is our beautiful founder. She's there. I'm sure she's going to see all of this. So this is a shout out to her. And this is saying Happy International Women's Day to all the good women in the whole world, especially to my mom, Mrs. Grace Olakumi, and to all my sisters from Olakumi's family, to my very self, Obi. Okay, to my sweet mother, Mrs. Ajilaya Mabel, I give kudos to her for training me in the way of the Lord and making me what I am today. I love you so much. And this is coming from Josie. Shout out to all the good women in St. Louis Catholic Church. May we all be one. Happy International Women's Day. So that is all for the first phase of the International Women of the shout outs for this program. As we go into the program subsequently, we'll be reading the rest of the shout outs. Thank you very much and Happy International Women's Day.
Chicken everywhere. And as a kid, you love head of chicken. So it's just normal. So when we don't reach the house, and trust me, all those women we are going to greet, we are going to their house, they are very wicked. They will not ask your mother, they will come to you. They will be like, William, show me your rice. Your mother will not use leg and tap you. You as a good child, you will be the beginning. Once you see the mama face, say she do like this. That is what? Majel. And if you are doing like this and you are doing really good, there's a way she will pinch you. You will just shout, yeah! You'll be like, kill shit. And the worst part of it is the woman will not be like, Mommy Williams, are you the one that said Williams should not collect his rice? Just our woman, our mama, they'll be like, hey, me. Don't go Williams, you must not go back there. They'll be like, Williams, that should not eat it. And you as Williams too, you'll be like, you know something. The woman will not be like, Williams, oh yeah, go jet, you want to go jet? Your mom will not be like, yeah. There's no between jet and yeah. You know, if it is jet, she's free. But yeah, Emma, yeah. Because mothers are so unique. And please, I love our mothers very well because I feel without them, you know, they're like our first teacher, you know. Once we are growing up, that is why I see every child that lost a mom from the young age used to be very hard for that particular child to, you know, learn one or two things. Because women, women will not have time. We don't have time. My father is a unique human being on his own. And my mother, you know, mothers can sell wrappers to train children to school. Mother can do this, they can do that, they can do this. I've seen some women, you know, I'm an MC, I used to anchor programs. I see women during wedding programs I used to anchor, bringing up nylon bags, you know, collect rice and other things just to feed the children, you know, people that doesn't have. Men can do that. Women can do that, we can stoop so low to that step. But because of the love for the children and because of the love for the family, you know, she has to do something for our child or our children to be safe. So please, a round of applause for the women, please. I love them. Thank you so much, mommies and daddies. So right now we want to have the first lecture. Immediately after the first lecture, we move to the next on our program. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, permit me to bring forward no other person than mommy, Mrs. Jane Aino, that is ONDO Station Radio Vision Corporation. Please, a round of applause for her. I think she's one representing our Mommy.
I want to start first of all by saying it is a privilege to be a woman. Those days, women are always told what to do or who you are. But if you are a woman, you must know who you are and what you want. And when a woman identifies who she is and what she wants, then she will know her worth. Those days, women are always told who they are. I will cite an example where they will say, "Obìnrin ni ẹ́, ìwọ ló máa fọbọ́. Obìnrin ni ẹ́, ìwọ ló máa dáná." But today, the narratives are changing, and I must appreciate us. I won't start this speech by acknowledging and appreciating women that have made history in our country. Let me not go beyond. Let me start with acknowledging Olorunso and Lakija. It's someone we all know. I'll acknowledge Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I must acknowledge Ibukun, Awoshika, Hajiya Bola Shagaya. These are people who have made history. Mosumola Abodo, she's a media personnel, and Uju Ifejika, I must acknowledge her too. Fumi Yonda, another media personnel who has made history. Ndidi Umune. Obi is a Kwesili. She's another woman we must acknowledge. And coming down here to Ondo State, I can't, but it will be a sin for me if I do not acknowledge our own Chief Mrs. Betty Anyamakere, the wife of the Ondo State Governor. Please let's give this woman a round of applause. You must agree with me that she has done remarkably well when it comes to empowering women. You must acknowledge and agree with me that she has done beyond expectations when it comes to empowering women and girls in our society. And I must also appreciate and acknowledge her husband too, the governor, AKURE, for all the privilege and giving us the playground when it comes to inclusion of women in politics and other spheres. We must appreciate him. Because if not for him, we won't have the first female SSG, which is the person of Oladone Odu. We must appreciate him for this. And I must acknowledge too, our own chairman, the media group on the State Radio Vision Corporation, the person of Kunle Adebayo. This one has also given women level playing ground. The person I am representing today is a woman, and she's the director of news and current affairs, Voice House Television. We also have other women in this, our media group, who are doing remarkably well, directing and ensuring that we are doing well when it comes to that regard. We have the director of programs, Iweti Alewi. She's doing well in her chosen career, and she's making history too. I must also acknowledge the director of operation, Alala Unit 6.5 FM, Sunshine FM, the person of Buki, Ola Odukwa. These people are women. Let me not bore you with mentioning too much names, but I must tell you that we are history to be told. Without a woman, I want to also appreciate what do I call him now, that has been appreciating women and mothers. I am a woman and I am proud. You should be proud because you are nation builders. You should be proud because you're a chef. You should be proud because you're a thinker and you're an actor. You should be proud that you're a woman because you can carry human and bring this human out. The other time he was mentioning that who puts the baby there? It is only when a woman tells a man, I am pregnant, that you know that there is a child in there. Okay, so without that, you can never have a nation. Without woman, you can never have a nation. So I want you to put your hands together and celebrate yourself. Okay, among what I have today, I must join my voice with the UN Women who says that 2022 is pivotal to gender equality. Yes, I agree. I agree because we are beginning to change the narratives. I agree because we are beginning to see reason to love ourselves more. I agree because I know that men, they usually support themselves. There is no way a man will be bad to another man. But there is always a way where mother-in-law never loves the wife, sees the wife of her own son as a threat. What if no one about mommy? No. And it's about second Nigeria or mommy or that's a common thing we have around. But today, the narratives are changing because we are beginning to see reasons to come together. And my own quote today is, there is no limit to which to what we can all achieve. There is none if we can come together. The highest population we have all over the world, you must agree with me, are women. So if we can do it together, there's no limit to what we can achieve. Okay, I must also come and let's identify the problem of disparity that we've been suffering for a long time. And that's what we're about to change because we are game changers. I must say that I don't know if you're aware. That's 100 out of 109 senators. Men are 102, while we have just 7 women. 360 members of House of Rep. We have men to be 347 and women 13. I beg your pardon. Then the State House of Assembly, we have 999 members, and we have just 45 women. There are 15 states with no women at all in the House. We have the states to be Abia, Borno, Bauchi, Edo, Jigawa, Kwara, Kogi, Yobe, Sokoto, Taraba, Katsina, Zamfara, Kano, and Nasarawa. I don't know what this means to you. I don't know your conclusion about this. We are only asking for inclusion. We are not asking to take your place. I beg your pardon. We are not asking to take your place. We appreciate you for being men because you are ahead. But you must agree with me that the head is non-existent without the body. So what completes you is the body. So we agree when you call us the body and you are the head. But you are incomplete without your body. So what makes you up? It is the body. Okay, so we appreciate you that you are our men. We're not asking for too much. It is disheartening that on the first day of International Women's Day, 1st of March, it breaks my heart when I was casting the news that the wife of the vice president, when the speaker asked to be allowed to sit in the house, and all men yelled no. They all said no. Reasons no to them because women are always women. Shouldn't we be worried? The right for a woman, the right for a Nigerian woman to grant her foreign-born husband Nigerian citizen, yet a Nigerian man's foreign-born wife gets automatic citizenship. This is part of what we are just asking. The right for Nigerians in the diaspora to vote during elections in spite of their much favored and needed remitted $9.6 billion. The right for a woman to take indigenship of her husband's 35% appointed positions as women. We're not asking for 50%, which is equal. We are only asking for the 35. 35% affirmative action for women, party administration and leadership. Specific seats to be allocated for women in the National Assembly. The only way you can summarize this, and you must agree with me, is gender discrimination. I'll re-emphasize again, there is no limit to what we can all achieve together. Now, what is the way out? We have to go back to the roots. I would agree if you ask me that we're actually the cause. You know why? Because going back to the roots, we're going back to the family, right? And the family, they say, is the smallest unit of the society. What have you been telling your female child? Have you been telling her there's a limit to where she can get to? Have you been telling her there is a limit to what she can achieve? Have you been telling her she can never study mechanical engineer because she's a female? Have you been telling her that she will just be a nurse or a tailor because it is gender-centered for women? What are you telling your female children? What are you telling your male children too? Because you must take note of this, that when you're building a queen, you can't be building a queen or raising a queen who will stay with a monster. And so if you acknowledge and appreciate your female child, if you know where you're coming from, and where you're going. We must build that nation so that when we all leave, because we will all die someday and leave, you'll be sure and sleep well in your grave that the generations that you have left behind are following suit, are ensuring that they're also building and following what you have left behind. I'll also say that we must love ourselves more. There's a general saying that women are usually antagonistic to themselves. There's a general saying that women never love themselves. And I agree, because we have had some number of women who are brave enough to come to say they want to contest for the post of president, but we never get to see a woman cast their vote for them. In a number of times, we have seen that women are the ones who put these men in these positions because we do not know our worth. We do not know that we are the ones selling our birthright. We do not know that we can do it even better. There is a woman in your house as your husband, but you are the one who will always say, Daddy wa eshideka sheba. He may say, Kilomo, obirine, but when he's alone in his thoughts, he will think, you must agree with me and appreciate and know your worth. But I must preach love amongst women. I must preach love. Love is paramount. Love is very paramount. Men love themselves. I have seen scenarios where you tell a man that, oh, my husband is cheating on me. They will tell you all men do it. Oh, my husband doesn't pay his children's school fees. You have to learn to manage. That's the answer or response you get from his friend or family. They will tell you to endure, to persevere. Why are you not telling your co-woman that? Why do you notice that a neighbor is suffering from domestic violence and the next thing you're doing is gossiping about it? Lagbaja ṣogbọ́n nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Wọ́n máa lọ́kọ lágbájá lù ú máa fẹ́ lù tẹ́nifẹ́ bọ́ lára ẹ̀. What are you doing? Have you reported to anyone? Have you confronted the man why he should treat his wife with such disdain? It is barbaric. We must preach love, love, and love. When we now live in a climate where mother-in-laws love their wife and challenge their own son and blame themselves for not raising him well, for the way he's ill-treating the wife, then we will have a better nation. When we have a platform where women don't see their body as a way through to get anything, whether job, whether anything. I must appreciate women for the grounds they are breaking. I host a program too, The Entrepreneur, on television, and I have seen women who are mechanics. I have seen women who are doing jobs that I don't even expect. Women engineers, they're breaking ground. Don't you think there is no limit to what we can achieve? If we all come together in love, then we will get there. And I believe that this year is the year. Okay, moving ahead. Let's build strong support system for women in politics and other spheres. I mentioned earlier that we are the ones that these politicians, male politicians, when they want to vie for a position, they will call market women. They will call women from all walks of life and tell them, promise them, give them peanuts. But I must tell you again, don't sell your birthright. If we can have and leverage on the population of women that we have all over the world, even our nation, Nigeria, then we can have a woman get there. We are game changers. We can build this nation. You're building your home. It is you who know where you want your family to be. It is you who know your children, and you know where they can be. And you're nurturing them. You're raising them. You're building them. You're praying for them. Why are you not doing that for your nation? Moving ahead, what else can we do? What is the way out? Advocating for the rights of the girl child should be a collective responsibility. Advocating for the girl child. You must agree with me that the rights of the child, especially the girl child in our nation, is nowhere to be found. And I must please admonish we women. We should stop this habit of silence We should eradicate the culture of silence. We've had women whom their young toddlers have been raped, abused, even by their own husband, and they'll tell the child, silence. Have you thought of the traumatic experience that child will live with? Some women, even my own mother, have refused to heal. And you can imagine this, if she goes ahead to tell me as a daughter, if I experience such, I bless God I never experienced it. But for those who have experienced, sometimes it is now a generational thing, where we have the mothers experience the same thing, and they tell their daughter, when we stop the habit of what people will say, then we'll have a better nation. When we stop the habit of telling our daughters not to voice out, then we will have a better nation. Stigmatization is just there. It cannot kill you. But when you voice out, you must agree with me that you will get justice. When we all voice out together and come together and speak in one voice, then we will get justice. Most of these children, they are vulnerable. They are traumatized. I know that a number of families here seated have never even had their daughter visit the rehabilitation center when they experience this. Have you even counseled them? Do you even care about the adverse effects of what your daughter is going through by being raped by someone very close? Because it's her father, she doesn't have to say. Because it's her brother, she doesn't have to say. Because it's a pastor, don't majeki jotu, is that the way out? Let's eradicate the culture of silence, and then we will have a better nation. I'll still enclose again and emphasize by saying there is no limit to what we can achieve together. Thank you.
In the face of women trying to live out of the biased mindsets which men do have for them, what should they actually do in this line of duty as a woman? Because according to the analysis in which you gave outside there, I watch it on news yesterday on channels, and left to me, I'm not actually happy that low number of women are actually selling in some different capacities. And I want to challenge our mothers that are here. I think the fault is actually from you people, because you have not been coming out. Truth be told, even back then in school, what we do have is guys coming out to contest in student election and some other things. I think that is what is still affecting the women of today. So the mistakes has been in the past. I think it's high time they correct it now. But the question I just want to ask you is, you've actually given us some data analysis and some other things. What is the way forward? Thank you.
I have mentioned earlier that building strong support system for women in politics, most especially, we can have a female president, but we're still asking from little. We haven't even gotten there. And so when we come together in love, because you must agree with me, like you mentioned, we all know our culture has failed us actually. And I started with quoting the fact that if you're a woman, you should know who you are and what you want. Until we start identifying who we are and what we want, then we can achieve this together. Secondly, we must love ourselves. Women are usually rivalry to themselves. It's convenient for a woman to know that, or a lady to know that a man is married and does not care whoever is in the house. It is convenient for a woman to know that someone is vying for a post and they are beefing her because she's not dressed well. And they're just saying, Koki Mura Dada, Koki She Dada, Oribo Sheri, and they will just choose not to vote for her even when she has good intentions. So the only way out is for women to come together in love, support themselves, love themselves, eradicate the culture of silence, know who you are. We used to be told who we are, but today we know who we are. We are not who they say we were then. We are who we are, and we know our worth now. And until we start identifying and knowing our worth, we can't get there. So I'm admonishing women today that we should know our worth. When you don't know your worth, if you're wearing a dress, it's beautiful. You don't know how beautiful it is until someone tells you your dress is beautiful. Okay, but today, don't wait for anyone to tell you your dress is beautiful. Look in the mirror and admire yourself. Stop waiting until you're told. Tell yourself, this is who I am. And there's no limit to what we can achieve together. Thank you.
Sets certain things that are very, very germane, and we start from identifying who you are. Identifying who you are. And I think we don't have a lot of, many of the young ladies here. And that is my point of concern. The adolescents. Now, what do you see in the streets of AKURE, for instance? And it's not limited to the streets of AKURE. I travel a lot and it's everywhere. It's a norm now to see girls of 13, 14 line the streets for men that will pick them up. If you go through ALAGBAKA here, Signature, down through to Iyoma, to First Banking area, anything from 7, 8 p.m., you see these girls in their 13, 14, 15. One day I was with a lady in my car, 19 years old. I told her when I was approaching the UPA area, go to the back seat. I want to do something. She went to the back seat and I parked beside these two ladies. These two girls, they're not two ladies here, they're girls. I said, the minute I parked, they came forward. I said, can I have your number? Said, no, that's the number. She wrote it, yes, and I moved. I said, I parked there for you to see what is happening. That they are not there waiting for 30s. They are waiting for men that will pick them up. And these are the girls that will take over the future. So we need to work, and maybe I will, maybe with Luciano Foundation, please, if we can do, we need NGOs. The government can't do it. The government has their hands full. So if we can have a civil society organization that will come to see how can we change the narrative for these ladies. She was given excuses, but some of them are abused, some of them are from what's it called, from broken homes, some of them from economically deprived homes. And I said, I'm sorry, I would disagree with you because I've had experiences. A child that is sent to private university is not from a home where they don't have money. That is the truth. So we have some of these ladies from private schools, not public, private universities, who are part of those you see in clubhouses just to flex. So please, we have to let the young girls understand that they are more than toys to want the bed of the man. They are great individuals who can build the future. I am a man, but I'll tell you, women have failed us. So maybe we'll give the women a chance. But it begins by identifying yourself and be ready to build your potential to get to that height. Thank you.
I am actually from a broken home, and my parents separated when I was 16. And you must imagine that that's the most time that I need my mom to guide me, yeah? But unfortunately, she was nowhere. She was just not there. She's not reachable. My father moved on, so I was left with my younger ones. But my dad left me with this statement that children from broken homes, when their mom is not there to care for them anymore, they get pregnant and anyone just pick them up and marry them off. So as young as I was then, I told myself, no. And I told my younger sister, don't let what dad said happen. And all through school, I had no one, I had nobody. I call, I do anything. And we do all sort of jobs, all sort of work. And from there we started finding favor. From no one, we don't know them. They are not our family members. And I graduated with good grades, and I'm proud to say it. And so if anyone or any young girl, sometimes when I see them, we see them all the time, and I ask, do they have parents? I'm not sure they have parents. And something just tells me, did you have anyone then? You had no one. How did you survive through? I have had people who are in their position who changed because they met me. I can't start mentioning names. I've had friends who changed because I asked her, oh, fine, Jumelo now. You're not living fine. I'm wearing clothes, even if it's okrika, but it's fine and nobody knows. And then you are doing, they call it parole during our time. Yeah. But they want to be who they are. And it's a minus. And shame to any woman who encourages, because we know women who encourage such. We know women who tell their daughter, oh, she pay lagbaja, oh, she pay lagbaja. And so that was why I mentioned during the speech that we should change the narrative from where women or girls see their body as sleeping their way through to get anything. What I did as young as I was I can't sleep my way through. I will get it. And everything I have gotten in my life before God is on merit. I never had to sleep my way through. Okay? So I don't want to believe they don't have mom. I also always, when I see them, I think about this, that where were or maybe they ran out of home. Some of these people did. They actually ran out of school. Some of these students are not what they are at home. And that is why we have to do more. You have to check your words. I didn't have anybody to visit me all through university. Nobody even came. So I had the freedom to do whatever they are doing. But I chose not to do as young as I was. I chose never. And so they can choose not to do. They can decide not to do. But then, we're always quick to actually blame women that, oh, you're not raising her well. You're not doing well. But raising a child is not only the responsibility of a woman. It is a collective responsibility. You can see mine. I had to live by what I grew up to sustain, and I was holding on to those words, and they helped me. And even the negative words that were said to me, I tried to change it to be positive. And so they can do the same. I've met a friend who said, Daddy metiku, mommy metiku, and I said, what is the difference between you and I when I didn't have them to be there for me, and you know they are no more? There's no difference. We've had people who, from childhood, never experienced. There are children who their parents died and who had to be given out as maids, and they still made it. So why not choose to make it? Why not choose to change it? Although this is not to say that we shouldn't still admonish our women to do more, to raise these children. Stop encouraging them to get involved in all form of immorality, because you are killing yourself. I've had a friend who died at the verge of this. A lot of them have been used by ritualists because of this. I'm sure the woman will not forgive herself until she die, even in her grave, for not raising the child well. And so you should take it as priority to raise a good child. I mentioned earlier that even when you die in your grave, you won't be sleeping if you realize that the generation you left to one generation and another generation, it's so porous. We don't enjoy what we see today. So we have to fight to change the narrative. Thank you.
Distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, dear women, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to be here today. Let me start by saying Happy International Women's Day to our women, our mothers. It's not easy to be a woman. And to that effect, I applaud our women for being wonderful people. Please, let's give a round of applause for our women. I see smiling faces everywhere, and I believe we are ready to be empowered and enlightened. So far so good. I believe the enlightenment has started, and it will continue. The theme of this year's International Women's Day worldwide, as we already know, is gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. And that is advancing gender equality in the context of the climate crisis and disaster risk reduction is one of the greatest global challenges of the 21st century. But for us in Nigeria, in ONDO, what does this mean to us? It means that we owe it to ourselves to help one another. It means that we have to break the inequality among ourselves. In Nigeria, there is a great divide between what the men have and are allowed to do and how the women get to thrive in this field. It is up to us to bridge the gap. At Queen Luciano Foundation, we aim to support women and provide enabling opportunities for them in any way morally possible, and that is why we are here today. And as such, I enjoy all of us to actively participate in today's program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Osayi for representing the founder, Queen Luciano. So please, a round of applause for him. He actually came all the way from Abuja to this program. Thank you so much. So right now, please to lighten up the mood before we move to our next on our program. A round of applause as I bring forward one of the best comedians we are in Ondo State currently. I'm talking of no other person than MC Babs. Please, a round of applause for this our favorite comedian.
All right. A ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ látàárọ̀, inú mi ẹ̀dùn pé mo wà bí lónìí. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè kankan lọ́wọ́ wa. Èmi ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ gbóyìnbó. Bros, can I go back like this? Thank you. Ẹgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wò mí. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fún mi lórúkọ obìnrin, orúkọ lè máa fún mi. Ta ló sọ orúkà? MC Kíkù Bọ́tà. Reginat. Mùsùlùmí ni. Ẹ má gbọ́ ọ̀gọ̀ tí bọ̀ yẹn sọ. Ó yẹ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Kí lẹ sọ àti Jẹ́mílá Àyẹ̀fà, Bọ́láńlé, Démiládé. Ẹ ṣàìpé ẹ o. Yóò fẹ́ mẹ́ ṣàìpé. Tẹ bá fẹ́ fún mi lórúkọ aṣọ obìnrin, orúkọ olè máa fún mi. Ẹ má dábọ̀ yẹn lóhùn sẹ́. Sẹ́ni pé kò wọ aṣọ táwọ̀. Tẹ bá fẹ́ fún mi lórúkọ aṣọ obìnrin, mọ́ mi orúkọ olè máa fún mi. Àǹtí mi orúkọ olè máa fún mi. Sequence kí ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀? Aṣọ náà ni. Ìwé ẹ̀ sọ yẹn tí mo wọ̀. Olúwọ́dù, mo láìpẹ́ ẹ̀. Tí ìbá tiẹ̀ mọ́, mo láìpẹ́ ẹ̀. No, mo láìpẹ́ ẹ̀. We actually have same story, almost like. I grew up under the tutelage of my dad. Actually, I've forgiven my mom. Yes, because I'm not here to shake her. We are back together for good now. She left us while I was in primary one. I learned how to cook from a very tender age. I learned how to bathe myself, my brother and everything. Yes, all those experiences there amount to what I am today, actually. Yes, she might have left based on one or two things. And what was her reasons? I already saw pé kí má fẹ́ bàbá ẹ̀. Hello, no, that's just a fact. But seeing us now, they want to actually associate with us now because of what we have become today. Mom, see me, tí ma fẹ́ tẹ̀lé wọn jáde wá ní kò sáyé. Tó bá pẹ́ tí mo ti bẹ̀ wọ́n wá tọ́pẹ́, bóyá lọ múra. Ṣẹ́ni bí náà lọ́jọ́ yẹn pàtí náà ṣe ń bẹ̀. Ṣẹ́ni bàbá dé gate mo ti gbóòrùn rẹ̀ sí, gbóòrùn oríṣiríṣi. Wọ́n tún rán mi létí ní gate pé tọ́pẹ́ ibi náà wá sí iṣẹ́ ò ní jẹun bẹ̀ mo ní mo ti gbọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe ni láàánú pé ńgbà tá a wọlé bá a ṣe jókòó. Táyì kan sáàbò oúnjẹ sí la dé sí pátì sí. Ẹnì kíní gbóúnjẹ wá mo ní mi ò jẹ. Ẹnì kejì gbóúnjẹ wá mo ní hùhùn. Ṣẹ́ni bàtà ẹnì kẹta gbé wá tààrà mi ò gbà mo kọjú sí màmí. Mọ́mì ṣé kí n gbà á? Ìyá Tọ́pẹ́ ò sọ̀rọ̀. Àmọ́ obìnrin lẹ́lẹ̀kejì mọ́mì ṣé kí n gbà á? Ìyá Tọ́pẹ́ ò sọ̀rọ̀. Mo mú gèlè tó wà lórí wọn mo fà á tù. Mi ò tí ju bí ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta ń gbà ẹ̀ mọ́mì ṣé kí n gbà á? Wọ́n ìmí ní gba ọkọ mi, máa ṣe ní kó má gbà á, ìrọ̀ máa lákòóbá ò lè lè báyìí. Bàtí mo gba oúnjẹ yẹn tán mo tún kọjú sí ọmọ rẹ̀ bójúmọ́ ìmí lé. Mọ́mì ṣé kí n jẹ́? Mọ́ ìmí ò sọ̀rọ̀. Mommy, shaking, jẹ́ wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Pàtó tẹ́lẹ̀kẹta mo mú yẹ̀rì tó wà ní wọn mo fà á tú. Ọkọ mi jẹ́ má ṣe ní kó má jẹ́ kódà jẹ́ dáa. Ṣẹ̀rí ìgbà tí mo délé ní dáadáa yẹn ṣe yé mi. Gbogbo abiyamọ tó wà ní ẹ̀ ní fi ojú sunkún. Thank you very much, William. Which president I go be?
President of women.
Eh?
Women president of your own.
Alright, if I be food, which food I go be? Tiba Jojo Roja Umanje. Obi Jamana. Tiba Je Bank Umanje. The same question tí mo béèrè ní wedding tí mo lọ on Friday. Wọ́n ní tí bá jẹ́ báńkì máa jẹ́ mímọ̀ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fagbó tán. Látọwọ́ ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀gbọ́n pariwo power bank. Mo láìkí bí àwọn Yorùbá ṣe ń sọmọ lórúkọ. Orúwo William Atubai. Williams ló jẹ́ wọ́n máa pè ní Willy. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá sọ wọn ní Olúwàbùkọ́lá kí ló máa pè é? Ayọ̀mídé kọ́? Ọládèjì kọ́? Bọ̀ ẹjọ́ ta bá sọ wọn ní èṣù pòfò kí là máa pè é? Ok, imagine pé ìkọ̀dọ̀ ọmọ tó wà mí báyìí ọmọ jẹ́ èṣù pòfò ẹ wá fẹ́ bèrè èṣù pòfò ẹ máa ní wọ́n mi pòfò ńkọ́ àbí wọ́n mi èṣù ńkọ́ tẹ́bá délẹ̀ máa bá mi kí ni. If one thing about, I want to say this, if you be agent for a year, you dey help person find house. I'm not happy with you. Agent. There is difference between running water and water running. Agent, honey, ilé tí mo fẹ́ fi hàn ẹ́. Agent gbé mi lọ sí uncompleted building rẹ̀. Ó ní tó bá sọ 150 wà parí ẹ̀. Ó lọ show mi nílé. Running water is different from water running. Ilé mo ní mo fẹ́ running water. Ó lọ fún mi nílé tó water running. Lo and behold, the water is running. Èdè yà máa lómi ọ̀la ni ló. Mo wá ní ẹ̀gbọ́n. Lómi, wọ́n ṣe mi sọ fún ẹ. Running water. Ó ń lọ lékejì àtúpadà wá. Alright, I like something. Ma like timber broke. Ma like àti wọ white. Tí bá ló dání báyìí mo lè gbé ọ̀kadà lọ anywhere. Once tí bá lè wọ white kò síbi tí mi lè gbé ọ̀kadà dé. Mo ṣe wà bí báyìí káwọn wọ white kí wọ́n pé mi lòó dání. Tí bá máa kúrò bí máa kúrò bí around to 12 òru. Máa gbé ọ̀kadà. Ibo ló ń lọ? Òkè Ìjẹ̀bú. Èló 500 ìnìbàjì àti ẹ̀lọ́. inú white tí mo wọ̀ white powder máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Na bá ṣe lọ màá fi white powder sójú. Padà sọ fún ọlọ́kadà ó dáa ó ti tó ibi mo ti dé ibi tí mò ń lọ. Tí bá máa sọ kalẹ̀ báyìí white powder lójú bá máa lọ. Ọ̀kadà ní àlàyé owó mi kan a ní fi mí lẹ̀ o. Mo wálé ayé láti wá gbẹ̀san. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time.
Guests and members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish each and every one of us happy International Women's Day. Somehow, I want to believe let me just appreciate Dr. Ndidi Okunuga, a colleague who actually recommended me to Luciano Foundation, because she had some other engagement today when she was called upon, and I knew quite well that if for anything that Luciano would have preferred a woman to do this presentation, because it is International Women's Day. But maybe I should just tell us the reason why she recommended me. By the grace of God, I'm a member of Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria, and for 4 years I was the vice chairperson for ONDO State. Female are great people. Women are great people. So, and I want to appreciate the foundation for deeming it fit to include a health section to this program today. Why is it important? It's because many of our women are dying. Many of our women are dying. And suffice to say today that even though the whites have more cancer cases, but the blacks are dying more from cancer. For so many reasons, from ignorance to poverty to our belief system to our misunderstanding of what? Of religion. Because in Nigeria, we are over spiritual. Somebody has got an ailment. You have seen God as too powerless to protect you, and the first thing that comes to your mind is attack. A spiritual attack. It is evil arrow. I would have loved to, most of the time when I give talk on breast cancer, I like to use the projector. And I made that request, and I want to appreciate the organizers for making the projector available. However, on Sunday, my system got crashed. I just pray I don't lose all my documents during. Very heavy documents and books and materials are in there. So, when I speak, most of the time, I just speak to pictures. I show pictures of the situation we see women in the hospital. We don't see women with early stage cancer in the hospital. No. The stages we see in the hospital are very terrible states that we see in the hospital. I don't want to see if I can just get maybe one picture or so. Terrible states are what we see in our hospital. Okay, I think I have one here. For those that can see, these are examples of what we see in our hospital. This was a woman that I was in anesthesia department then, doing my rotation, when we were about to operate on this woman. Maggot coming out of the breast. Yes. Maggot coming out of the breast. She was brought from a church. She was brought from a church. She has been there that it is evil arrow. You understand? So I would have, it's unfortunate, I have shown a lot of pictures. But do you know one thing is this? Cancer is no respecter of person. Cancer is no respecter of age. Is no respecter of gender. Cancer affects both men and women. But today I'll be zooming down on cancer that affects women. And I'll be talking about breast cancer and cervical cancer. When we talk of cancer, cancer simply means an abnormal growth in the cells of the body. Cancer can affect any part of the body. Just very few places are spared of cancer. One is the teeth. The air are spared of cancer. And cancers are named either based on the place, the organ. When you talk of breast cancer, we have breast cancer because it's affecting the breast. Cervical cancer because it is affecting the cervix. So, when we talk of breast cancer, it's just abnormal growth of the cells of the body. And when these cells begin to grow abnormally, God has done it in such a way that as you discover that as you comb your hair, you see some pieces, some bristles of hair falling out. Those ones are what have already aged and they break out so that new ones can begin to grow. So the same way it is internally, all your cells, they grow to a stage, they die. New ones grow. Like our red blood cells, every 3 months, it does what? It dies. That's what happens. New one will grow. So, but when there's now anything that happened to the gene, that this sequence is no longer followed, you now have abnormal growth. Some of them, they begin to grow in size and they begin to affect other structures around them. And some can begin to spread to other parts of the body. Breast cancer is the commonest cancer in women worldwide and is the #1 cause of death among women cancers in Nigeria. In some other part of the world, it is #2. Lung cancer is the commonest. But in Nigeria, it's the #1. When you hear a woman dies of cancer, it is breast cancer until proven otherwise most of the time. And cervical cancer follows in that order. It is said that about 26% of cancer in women is due to what? Is due to breast cancer. And there's a 1 in 8 chance of a woman getting breast cancer in her lifetime. And surprising to know that breast cancer also affects men, but just that 1% of cases could affect men, and the remaining 99% affect women. Why is this so? It's simply because the woman has more estrogen hormone that feeds the breast cells. The woman has more developed breast, but I've partaken in surgery where we have to operate men who have breast cancer. So anybody can have breast cancer, but it's more common in women. Now, what are the causes of breast cancer? Breast cancer has no cause per se. However, there are things we call risk factors. And when we talk about risk factors, these are just things that increases your chance of getting cancer. When you say risk factor for anything, it's something that increases your chance of getting it. For example, risk cancer for road traffic crash is what? Overspeeding. Somebody who is driving gently can have accident, but you that you are overspeeding and driving recklessly, you have a higher risk. So that's what we mean by risk factor. Now, this risk factor can be modifiable and non-modifiable. Modifiable means the one you can change, and there are ones that you cannot change. So my emphasis would be on what? On the ones you can change, the modifiable. And what is it about the modifiable? Most of it, they are lifestyle related. #1 is diet. When we talk about diet, a diet that is poor in fruits and vegetables is a bad diet that will not promote good health. A diet that is poor in vegetable poor in fruits will predispose us to cancer of any form, will predispose us to hypertension, will predispose us to diabetics and every other form of chronic diseases. So please, as I am giving us the risk factors, because I say it's something we can change, then I am talking about the prevention alongside it. So what we must do, please ensure you take fruits and vegetables. When we say it is not until you buy 100 naira orange and you finish it at a time, it's a waste because the body will only take what it can absorb and the remaining will go as waste. So we talk about a portion of fruit. What is a portion? One orange is a portion. One apple is a portion. One moderate sized cucumber is a portion. One slice of pawpaw is a portion. So please, for a meal, you take what? You take one portion. If you buy 100 naira banana, 100 naira orange, this can take you for 2 days or even more. But not until you buy 100 naira banana, you sit down alone and you eat it. Some persons don't eat fruits. Why? They tell you each time I eat fruit, I purge. The question is, how many do you eat? How many oranges do you take at a time? If you take it too much, you will purge. That's the truth. Because your body, this fruit also contains glucose, and glucose will draw water from the body cells into your intestine, and you will purge. So please, let's take fruit and take it rightly. So you have told us what a portion is. So what other thing is obesity? When we get fat too much, and there's a way we calculate it to know somebody that is what, that is obese. So once you are in that obesity level, then it is a risk factor for all of the cancers, all of the hypertensions, the diabetics. Then lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, is a risk factor for most chronic diseases. When we sit down in a place, it is that place that you are sitting down. Mary, go and bring that cup. Josephine, go and bring that plate. And you sit down there, go and bring the food. You are consuming the food, you are not utilizing it. It is very bad for our health. I like to use this analogy. When you have a bucket full of water and you put a bowl in it, come back the next day and pick that bowl. What happens? What will happen? You said, please, can somebody who is bold enough talk? I want one hand up. When you have a bucket of water and you put a bowl inside the water, you did not touch the water throughout that day. The next day, you now pick that bowl from inside the water. What will happen to that bowl? Yes, it will be slippery. But if you have that bucket of water, you are using that bowl to take water, it will never be slippery. So the same thing happens. When you take in food and you don't exercise, you don't use it, it becomes a waste in your body, harmful waste in our body. So please, sedentary lifestyle is not a good thing. And that is the reason why a bricklayer, an artisan who is physically active, can take a big bowl of food. He's going to utilize it. But for you, you are a caterer, you are a civil servant, you are a secretary, you just sit down 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock, you want to eat the same meal, it is disease, you are already attempting suicide. Okay, when you take big bowl of food and you are not utilizing it, so that tells me to the other risk factor is lack of exercise. Lack of exercise. When you don't partake in exercise, it is a risk factor for cancer and all other chronic diseases. So what other thing do we have? It is what is medication, drugs. There are some drugs that we take that can predispose us to having breast cancer. Some of them are hormonal drugs, and we find some of them in family planning. Family planning is very good, please. Especially in this Nigeria of today, you need to plan your family. Now, what do we see happen? It happens among the young girls. Some years ago, I was just playing with a young girl of 14, was it 14 or 15? And the content of her bag poured out. And I saw confidence. I quickly picked it. I looked at it to be sure. Was the family planning pills. I returned it. I did not see anything at that point. At another time, I now opened up the discussion. I saw one drug in your bag. How long have you been using it? She said 3 years. Yes. She said 3 years. And now when you take these family planning pills for more than 8-10 years, your chances of having breast cancer will increase astronomically. So, and that's the reason why if you're going to take family planning, we say go to somebody that has been trained. The person will ask a lot of questions about your family history. Somebody has had breast disease in the family, you don't even go to hormonal drugs, because I will talk about that under the non-modifiable factors. So you don't even need hormonal drugs. So please, it is better for us to, before we take family planning, this is International Women's Day. Family planning is very good. It is very, very good. And I advise it, I counsel it. Please go to a trained provider. They will know what is best for you after taking a detailed examination and taking your blood pressure and other physical examination. It is not sacrosanct that because you have some of this, because you are a woman, you must have breast cancer. No. Because you are 18, you must have breast cancer. No. But it is just study has shown that okay, people who have they are more at risk of having it. So the prevention, I have discussed the prevention alongside the risk factors. So what are the prevention? Healthy diets. A diet that is rich in fruits and vegetables. A diet that is low in fats. Please, our mothers, there are some very sweet parts of the meat. And some of us cannot do without eating it. Number one, bokoto is the worst part of the cow meat. If you see bokoto, what is the color? Brown, no. Not white. You say? Not carton color. You say? Brown. Okay, I want to assume that we don't need bokoto here. The fresh bokoto, when you see it will look creamy in color. It looks creamy in color, like a fade of this. That handkerchief, there's this like fade, like cream, like fade yellow, like that. And when you see a gemawo, fresh one, after the skin, what do you see? There's a cream or yellow layer. It contains bad cholesterol. Is that okay? So agemawo is sweet. Your what is it called? Your bokoto is sweet, and the inkoinu, the intestine, is also, these are not good parts of meat. And we advise people, limit your intake of red meat. Generally, from the age of 30 thereabout, please limit your intake of what? Of red meat. I used to say that the lower the animal to the ground, the better for your health. The lower the animal to the ground, the better it is for your health. And what is the lowest animal to the ground? No. I heard something. Fish. Fish is the lowest animal to the ground. So fish is the best. Before you now come to all this your bush meat and all this stuff. So but the red meat is not good at all. So let us limit its intake. And if I will say, I'm a member of the Society of Lifestyle Medicine of Nigeria. And what we are promoting is, they call it whole plant food-based diet. Studies have shown, research has shown that all of this will reverse even hypertension and diabetes, and will limit your risk of having other chronic diseases. So please, one thing I did not mention, two things very important, is what? Cigarette smoking and alcohol will increase your risk of most cancers, breast cancer and cervical cancer importantly. And I know that all of us here are smokers. Do we have somebody who does not smoke here? If you don't smoke, I will give you money. Who is it that doesn't smoke? Who is it that doesn't smoke? You don't smoke. Can you stand up, man? Can you stand up? Hello? Now let me ask. If somebody is smoking outside in this next door here, and this place is sealed up, and can you perceive that somebody is smoking? Yes. So how do you know somebody is smoking? You said? Okay, let me ask you, what is the smell of potassium permanganate? Who knows the smell of potassium permanganate? You don't know because you have not even perceived it before. But you know the smell of cigarette because you have perceived it. Now, the good news is this. The same risk the person who is buying it and smoking is exposed to, the same risk you are exposed to. It's just that person is burning his money, you are taking it free of charge. You are not wasting your money. Yes, you are taking it free of charge. So, that person is what? Is the primary smoker or active smoker, while you are the secondary or passive smoker. And now, there's a tertiary smoker, a third hand, we have first hand, second hand, and third hand smoker. What is the third hand smoker? How many of us has entered into a hotel? You enter in the hotel, somebody has finished smoking for hours, the smoke is not there, but if you smell the curtains, the beddings, you will still perceive nicotine. That is third hand smokers. And the same risk. Yes. So if you enter an hotel room, please, and you ask them to come and change the curtain, change it immediately. It's the money you want to pay. Please, you don't. It is not the smoke they are puffing out. It is not what they are taking in. It is that nicotine content, and that is contained in the smoke they puff out that you inhale. So please, you cannot stop the bird from flying over your head, but you have to try to say, "Bird, don't build your nest on my head." So when somebody is smoking, please don't fight. All you need to do, you just tell your leg, "Please take me out," and you walk out gingerly. The person who is smoking might be dangerous. So please, it is very important I say this to us. And in terms of alcohol intake, please, many of us may want to argue with me that there's a quantity of alcohol is good for the heart. Red wine is good for the heart. But the question is, there is a quantity that scientifically has been said to be okay, to be normal. Science will say a woman can take 1 unit a day. A man can take 2 to 3 units a day. But the question is, what is a unit of alcohol? For you to know the unit of alcohol, you must know what is the percentage that is in that alcohol. You must know the volume in that bottle. You now use it to calculate, to know, okay, how many of this alcohol can I take? By virtue of calculation, a man is not supposed to finish a bottle of beer. But you see a man who sit down and take 5, 6 bottles. And now, the most critical thing now is that you now see this our Alamo bitter, Bomoshole, Bujinatu, Bugatti, Baby Oku, and all this stuff. If you pick one of their content, you see 43% alcohol. You see 35% alcohol. Many people are going to come down later with kidney diseases and a lot of chronic diseases. So please, let us, if you know you cannot stop, what I tell people, please stop. Please stop. And there was a recent study that has shown that there's no amount of alcohol that is beneficial to the heart. It's a recent study. I have it in the slide I was supposed to prepare that got crashed. I will have shown it to us, where CNN brought out the research and everything. So please, let us be careful. Let us be careful. Our health matters. It is not about making heaven or not making heaven. I'm talking about our health. That is the most important thing. So these are just things we can do to prevent ourselves, our diet, our lifestyle. Then we must regular exercise. Please, don't just sit down in a place. Not your car all of the time. At times, park your car. Take a walk. If you don't have the time in the morning, if it is in the evening, try and do some walk. It is it helps you to live longer. So now, I will not bore us with the treatment, but let me just say this, because this is International Women's Day. Please, the treatment of cancer is very, very expensive. It is better not to have it than to do what? To begin to look for how to treat it. And now, I will say this, breaking the bias. Every woman must be empowered. No woman must be a full housewife. Even if your husband is the bank manager of CDN, please. Because when you are engaged physically, you will interact with people, and you don't know when that will help you. We have bad culture in Nigeria. The day the man dies, the family will come for everything. Now, this woman now has cancer. How takes care? The salary of the doctor is not enough to treat him of cancer. That's the truth. Cancer treatment advances run to what, millions. There's a drug, acetine, that a single course acetine is close to $1 million. So please, let me say this. Please, this is International Women's Day. Please and please. Social connectedness is one of the things for longevity. So please, if you are a woman, contribute to whatever organization you find yourself. Why is it important? If you belong to your church, when they say contribute money, every woman should contribute 1,000 naira. If you don't have 1,000 naira, if you have 100 naira, put it there. It will be against your name for tomorrow. Because why I'm saying this is this. You don't know the day you will need help. I told us, cancer, no single person can. Why do many women die in the developing world than in the white? They have better healthcare system, we don't have. Early diagnosis, our religious system. But even cost of treatment is too high. People will just go to their house and die. I had a woman, I was somewhere, they called me, oh, somebody has breast cancer. State hospital here, I went to see her. And I was asking her, do you belong to any church? Yes, she's a member of this church. Are you a worker in this church? Yes, she said yes. Are you known in the church? She said yes. What are the things you have done in the church? Tell me. What are your testimonies? She said she built 3-bedroom flats. 2. She gave 1 to a pastor who has lived there for 2 years. Oh! I said it's enough. I wrote a beautiful letter to the head of the church that there's a woman in your church, a worker who has done this, who has done that, she needs help. And lo and behold, first, the story short, she got the total sum of 450,000 naira. But if she had not done anything, I would not be able to approach. So please, I beg you, your landlord association, whatever they are doing, contribute to it. You belong to your professional group, fashion designer group, contribute to anything they are doing. You don't know the day that it will speak for you. So cervical cancer. Now cervical cancer is the cancer that affects the mouth of the cervix, the mouth of the womb. That there's a place that is called what? It's called the cervix. That is the place that dilates, that open up. When they hear it is 2 cm dilated, it is 5 cm dilated, it is fully. That is the cervix. Now this part is the part that is commonly affected by cancer. I'll call it cervical cancer. One beautiful thing about cervical cancer is that it is very, very preventable. Why is it preventable? Because an organism called human papilloma virus has been found to be responsible for what? For cervical cancer. So once you can prevent having this virus, you have a high chance of not having cervical cancer. Now, what are the risk factors for cervical cancer? Let me say, cervical cancer is a cancer that can come through sexually transmission, because that human papilloma virus can come through sex. So having human papilloma virus infection is one of the greatest risk factors. And what are the other things? Is what is sexual activity. Having too many sexual partners will increase your risk of acquiring that virus. Having early sexual debut, having sex before the age of 18. Somebody who started having sex at the age of 15 will have more sexual partners, and that will increase the risk. Is that okay? So then, multiple sexual partners. Then having a partner that has many sexual partners increases your risk. Now, for a person who has one partner, you are not married, but you have one boyfriend, and you cannot, once you have, you cannot say the number, and you are sexually active together, you cannot say the number of boyfriends you have. Reason is this. Reason is this. You are in a sexual relationship with Sunday, and Sunday is in a sexual relationship with Mary. Mary is in a sexual relationship with Joseph. Joseph is with Abigail. Abigail is with Yunusa. So you discover Yunusa can get something from somewhere, give it to Abigail, Abigail to Joseph, the same way can get to you. Do you get it now? So please, and that is the reason why when they were talking about prevention of sexually transmitted diseases, they talk of ABC, of prevention. The A is abstinence. The best form of prevention is what is abstinence. Is abstinence. Abstain. They talk about B, be faithful to one uninfected partner. You are faithful to yourself, but do you know how faithful that person is? Then before you now come and talk of what? Of condom. So please, sexual activity is something that can do that. Then having sex with somebody who is not circumcised, with a male that is not circumcised, increases the risk, because it has been shown that the foreskin harbor that virus a lot. So it increases the risk. Then what other thing is smoking? Cigarette smoking increases the risk. Then use of alcohol. Then low socioeconomic status. Why is low socioeconomic status? Because it can predispose a woman giving herself to men in exchange for money. So that increases the risk. So all other ones that cannot change is age, being a woman. A man can never have cervical cancer. So these are things. Now, I said it is very preventable. Breast cancer, there's no vaccine. But there's a vaccine for talking about prevention of cervical cancer now. There's a vaccine for what? For cervical cancer. It is called human papilloma virus vaccine. Every young girl from the age of 9 years old to 14, and it can go beyond that. Even somebody who is 20, 21, the person is not sexually active. The person has not had sex before, can take the virus, the vaccine. But somebody who is 14 and is sexually exposed can no longer take it, because if the person has acquired the virus, it can no longer work. It will be a waste of money. The bad thing is, the vaccine is not available for free. Like your measles vaccine, your tuberculosis vaccine. You have to what? You have to buy for our young girls. And please, I want to appeal to us, don't bother our parents. It is nothing too much. Buy it for your young girls, let them get it, and they will be protected from having this human papilloma virus infection, which will predispose them to cervical cancer. Now for breast cancer, how do you know? What are the signs? Now a painless lump in the breast or in the armpit could be a sign for breast cancer. But however, not all lumps in the breast are what? Are cancer. In short, over 80% of the lump in the breast are not cancer. But you cannot say, until you remove it and they test it, they say, oh, it's not cancer. It's fibroadenoma, you are free to go. So it can be a wound in the breast. It can be the nipple that was out before is going in like an inverted navel. Now you can discover that the person can have change in the color of the breast. The breast that used to be smooth is now looking like the back of an orange. That could be a sign. The one that used to be smaller, the breast, is becoming bigger. That could be a sign the person can feel. Or when it's spread to the liver, the person can have yellowness of the eyes. There can be pain on the right side of the abdomen. when it's spread to the chest, the person can have fluid in the chest, can have cough. The person, when it goes to the bone, can have bone pain. And when it goes to the brain, the person can find it difficult to lift the hand or lift the leg. The person can go unconscious. And death is the final thing that can come in. For cervical cancer, the person can have, with sexual intercourse, the person can begin to bleed. Some persons begin to have watery discharge. It could be foul smelling, watery discharge. Then some persons in between menses, they begin to bleed. When it spreads to the back, they can have back pain. So these are some of the signs and symptoms that you let us to just bring ourselves to. But please, the take home is this: early detection saves life. So please, what can you do is what? 1, breast self-examination. Every woman should examine her breast once in a month. And when is the best time to examine your breast? It is 2 to 5 days after your menstruation is the best time to examine your breast. How do you examine your breast? To examine your breast, you stand in front of a mirror. You are already undressed, you remove your private thing. You stand at akimbo, you look at your breast. You look at the size, for you to know the one that is bigger. For all our appeared organs in the body, one is bigger than the other. So when you see the one that is smaller is becoming bigger, you quickly let the doctor know. You look at the nipple is pointed, you look at the color, so that when you see changes, you can know. Then you press it. If anything is coming out, you need to let the doctors know. And also when it is changing color, it is becoming bloody, then you run to a doctor. So you lie down, you use your right hand to examine the left breast, you use the left hand to examine the right breast when lying down. And when you're lying down, if I want to examine the left now, my left hand will be behind my head. So I use the flat of my hand to examine it. You can go in circular motion, you can take it up, come down, do this, and go to the armpits and look. At the time you are doing this, you are trying to see, hope there's no seed, hope there's no lump in it. Sheko si koko ninu omunye is ingotia yewoniye, sheko si koko koko nibe. And you change it also, and you do the other one. You do it once in a month, 2 to 5 days after your menstruation, because that is the time the breast is normal. After that 5 days, 7 days, the breast hormone is already coming into place. The breast is preparing. Probably this person will be pregnant and to prepare food for the baby. And for those who are already menopausal, those who are no longer seeing their menstruation, what is the best time to do it? You can pick a day in the month, maybe the first day of the month, the last day of the month. Maybe your birthday is 10th of April. You can say every 10th of the month, you will be doing your breast examination. And once a year, you go to the doctor who examines it for you. And for those who are 45 years and above, you do what we call mammography. So that will show you what you cannot see, what the doctor cannot see, that can see. And when they see it at that early stage, it is treatable. The first lady of ONDO State, 25 years still counting, she's alive. We have many members in Brecan who have it and they are still living. But we have people who did not survive it. Because what? They went to the hospital for care at a late stage. Now, to prevent, what can we do about cervical cancer prevention, which you can do yourself, is get our young girls, get them vaccinated. And for you, do your pap smear once in 3 years. And by the time you are 40 and above, it becomes like once in 5 years. And by the age of 65, if nothing, you are free. You no longer do it again. So please, I want to advise us and say, let us take care of ourselves. Without health, there can be no wealth. Without health, there can be no life. You cannot, whatever aspiration you have, depend on how well your health can carry you. Thank you very much for this.
Question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ni pé wọ́n lè sọ pé kí àwa tá bá ti tí èjì wa bá ti tó bí 30 sókè díẹ̀ ká má máa jẹ ẹran. Tó bá jẹ́ inú ẹran ni ńkọ́ tí àyè wà fún láti máa jẹ ṣàkì, ẹ̀dọ̀, gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
we should avoid drugs, maybe family planning drugs or something like that. But some cases nowadays, we can see young ladies having, what do they call it, fibroid here and there. Is it the same drug or hormonal drugs that cause the same fibroid or what? So that's what I don't understand.
In the Catholic Church, this family planning of a thing is not advisable there, and it's killing many people. And I feel that please, if you can enlighten us more on what we can do in this family planning, because the only thing Catholic Church advises is this billing method, which is really confusing.
We're talking about this vaccine for our girls from age, I think 1 to 14 years. Please, I want to ask, which of the health facilities can we get this vaccine? I had a friend there. She was operated for lump in her breast. Then I think she told me then that if you have been operated for lump, there's a probability of you having breast cancer. So I want to know more about it. If you have been operated for lump, can you also still have breast cancer? Thank you.
Now we have some belief that actually go against family planning, not even in the Christendom now, even in the Muslim era too. So those set of people, what should be the way forward for them? So far their religion does not actually permit them.
What it connotes is that we actually listen to the talk, and I really want to appreciate it. And mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa pé fáwọn ìbéèrè tí a béèrè nǹkan tó fi yé wa ni pé a tẹ́tí gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo sọ. The last question was about somebody who was operated, ẹni tó ní jẹjẹrẹ ọmú tí wọ́n ṣe operation fún, ẹni tó ní breast lump kókó ọmú tí wọ́n ṣe operation fún, ẹnìkan sọ pé ó lè fà kéèyàn ní cancer, ó lè ní jẹjẹrẹ. Please, it is not true. Now, maybe let me just address some of the myth. We call it myth. False belief about cancer. And one of it is what she has mentioned, that if you have breast lump and you operate it, you will have cancer. It is not true. If somebody has breast lump, somebody can have breast lump, they operate it, they do the test, and it tells you it is fibroadenoma. That means it is not cancer. That does not mean that the person cannot, if the person has a risk of cancer, the person can still have a risk later. And somebody can have breast lump removed and can still have another breast lump again. It can have a recurrent, which should not even be cancer. So it is possible to have a recurrent. But if the person is going to have breast cancer, it is not because the lump was removed that makes the person to have breast cancer. It is not related. It's because the person has that likelihood of having that breast cancer. Another myth is they tell you that using red bra, using black bra will increase your risk of breast cancer. Either you use Costeolike, Ngozi, push up, whatever the bra, it cannot increase your breast cancer risk. Some people will tell you putting money in the breast will make you get breast cancer. No, but it is a bad habit. Oje ìwà ọ̀bùn, ìwà ẹ̀rí. Now, somebody is breastfeeding. Money that has gone around the whole world, you put it in your breast. Your baby is crying. You remove that breast, put it in the baby's mouth. That baby can develop sickness from it. And if you have a wound on that breast and your immunity is low, you can develop a breast infection from that dirty money. So please, it is a dirty habit. Another myth, misconception, is that breast cancer is a killer. No. If breast cancer is detected early enough, people can survive it. Another, they tell you chemotherapy is a killer. There are people who have gotten chemotherapy and are still living today. I will have shown us a lot of people who had breast cancer and are still living. So it is not true. Some people tell you using roll-on. No, it is not true. So that answers that that question. Then the other question is family planning. Now, based on your religious belief, different religions, different denominations, they have their own reasons for not using family planning. However, they have their own proposed method. So, the scripture says that a man that has no control over his spirit is like a city whose wall is broken down. You understand? So, now some of this method, we have to take into consideration a lot of discipline. Now, what are these methods, these non-medical methods? One is the billing method. Billing method, you have to what? You have to know, billing method will only be applicable for people who have regular menstrual cycle. But we have some people whose menstruation is not regular. It will be difficult. For people who have their regular menstrual cycle, there's a way you can calculate it, that you know your free days. So those are the days that are best for you to have what? To have sexual intercourse. So days that are not free, you don't even go there at all. But before somebody will ask me that, imagine your husband has traveled for long, and the time your husband is coming home, he's coming for just 2 days. He's working on that state, he's coming for just 2 days. And that time is the time you are not free. Well, it is still self-control. Is that okay? The other methods are not medical, include withdrawal method, but I don't know what the religion says about it. Because if we go to some scripture, to the Bible, we see a place where somebody did withdrawal method. Withdrawal method is one method that can be practiced, where somebody did withdrawal method and it was accounted a sin to that person. So we may seek further, what's it called now? Further information from our priests or doctors in the denomination who can enlighten us better. But this method, we actually need a lot of discipline for you. But this billing method is more applicable for those who have regular menstrual period. So, then talking about dry fish and smoke, mommy, one risk factor for all cancers also is burnt food. Is that okay? We know that the bottom pot is the sweetest, Abi. However, the burnt part, any burnt food contains carbon, which is also a risk factor for bladder cancer, throat cancer, and please don't eat burnt food. Please don't eat it. It is not good for our health. Thank you very much, mommy. So you can eat your dry fish, but is it dry fish dojo? Is that okay? Then, so let me link that to the issue of eating inu ẹran. What I was saying, I said there are 3 parts on ẹ̀yà ẹran mẹ́ta ló wà tí ó dá. Ìkíní ni bọ̀kọ́tọ̀, ìkejì ni kíni àgémáwọ, ìkẹta ni ìfun. Tí a bá wo ìfun, a rí pé ní etí ìfun yẹn, ó máa ń ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rá, àwọn ọ̀rá tí ò dá ló wà ńbẹ̀. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́, if we can do without eating it, the better for us. And tí a bá máa jẹ red meat, it is just little. Yẹ pé ká kó ẹran sínú abọ́. When I was transferred to Okakoko, initially I don't used to go with soup from the house. So there was one restaurant where I used to eat. Somehow they got to know where I work. There is a doctor. So when they bring food for me, they'll just put a lot of meat in the plate. But maybe I'll just take one and take one pomo with it. We got to it and they now stopped. They now asked me, what do I want? This old meat, I don't really take much of it, so they had to adjust. So please, I used to say something. Please, God is helping us, is blessing us than yesterday. But my advice is this: eat that food small, so that you can eat it for a long time. If you eat it according to your money, you will die before your time. Please, it's a golden advice. Don't think because you have the money, you have the luxury, you just begin to eat all of it. It will be bad for us. Please, God will help us. Just eat. And when we are eating, please, little food with a lot of vegetables and a lot of fruits. When you see people eat at times, you wonder, hey, please. One of the things I do is, before I eat, I take a glass of water. It has covered the space. If this is the size of my tummy, and I've taken water up to this level, look at the size that is remaining. Is that okay? So please, the little we eat, the better for you. And please don't attempt to eat late at night. Please take your supper 6, 7 o'clock latest. But if you are going to eat late in the night, be sure that you are going to take 2 hours later before you sleep. Because if you don't delay the time you go to bed, it will not be metabolized. You can have stomach upset, and it is not good for your health. Yes, fibroid in young girls, is it due to drug? It is not due to drug. In the black, what we have most is fibroid, while in the white, they have endometriosis. Now, if we do a scan of 10 women in this room, at least from 7, we will pick fibroid. Exactly, from 7 or 8, we will pick fibroid mass. But many people can have it and do not disturb them. So it is when it is symptomatic, when it is disturbing them, maybe their menstruation is becoming too heavy, or they have a lot of pain, or somebody is married, is trying to conceive, you now see one fibroid that is becoming big, too close to the tube, or somebody is losing pregnancy, you may just want to remove that fibroid so that the person can conceive. But if it is not, if the fibroid is there, it's even bigger and not disturbing the person, you may not bother about it. By the time the person attains menopause, and oxytocin that is feeding it has reduced, it will just reduce itself. Please, there are a lot of drugs they sell in the pharmacy. They tell you it reduces, it takes care of. It is a lie. Please, there are a lot of them in the pharmacy today. It doesn't work. That is the truth. So if somebody has a fibroid that is disturbing the person is to see the gynecologist. They will evaluate the person. If the person is to be operated, they will operate it, and that would be fine. So human papillomavirus vaccine is one vaccine that I told us is not available free. Even in the pharmacy, in the pharmaceutical shops, it is not readily available. Why is it not available? People don't like to spend money on prevention. They like to spend money on treatment. So the pharmacy, they stock it, and before you know it, the thing will get expired on them. So if you go to the, I don't know unless I ask now, if you go to the, like the Unimed, Dr. Miseniko May, I don't know if she can now help to get, but I have some people that when I see somebody like them, we call them, we contact them, and they will have to send it from Lagos. One is from Benin. But in AKURE here, the pharmaceutical shop, they are not stocking it because they said the demand for it is very low. When they stock it, it gets expired on them. So, I said there are some doctors who are interested in this field that help to get it. I still go for somebody from Benin the other time. So it is not already available in the pharmaceutical shops. So I think that is the last question. So please, can we all stand up? We have been sitting for quite a while. So stretch your legs. Oh yeah, stretch your legs, stretch your legs. Stretch your legs. Up. To your right, first, to your right. To your right, okay. To your left. Don't give the person elbow. To your right again. To your left. Okay, thank you very much.
A healthy woman is a strong woman. A healthy woman is the woman who can change the world. A healthy woman is the one who can groom the children, the future of this country and of the world to be better persons. So it is very, very essential to take care of our health and look out for ourselves. So I'm going to be going into the second part of the shout-outs. This is from Mrs. Bisola Aluko. To all the women out there, we are strong. Don't look less of yourself. We are important in the world, very important. And we keep striving all to get there. We are valuable in the world and nobody has the power to demoralize us. Nobody except ourselves. This is from an anonymous. I want to use this medium to say a big thank you to my lovely sister, Mrs. Stella Adaja, a woman one in a million, a virtuous woman, a woman that stands for me every time. I pray that God will continue to bless her always. This is from Mrs. A. Mary Adegbenge. A shout out to all the women all over the world who are making their presence felt. Through them, we are shaking the world. Thank you very much for me. This is from an anonymous. To my baby girl, I want you to be a good person in the whole world. Uche. This is from Bobade Adejoke. I celebrate all the wonderful women in the world today. Very short and simple. Thank you very much. To all great women in the world, I celebrate you. Stay focused. This is from Akinola Okpeyemi. And this is also coming from Olakumi Ayobami, Mrs. I celebrate my humble self, very important, for being a virtuous woman and happy International Women's Day. I think we should also celebrate ourselves as much as we're celebrating people around us. We're strong and, we shake the world. This is from Tito Biloluwa Group, Mrs. Omotosho. It's in Yoruba, so I'll just read it. Said, fún obìnrin fún ìtẹ̀síwájú orílẹ̀-èdè, fún ìtẹ̀síwájú àwọn ọmọ wa, fún ìtẹ̀síwájú ẹbí àti ará, àti fún ìtẹ̀síwájú nípa ilé-ìwé àwọn ọmọ wa. Thank you very much, Tito Biloluwa Group. This is from an anonymous mom. I'm using this as a yardstick to celebrate every mother out there. Keep being strong. The Lord is your strength. Okay, thank you very much, this person. So we're taking, after, the program will continue now, and then we'll take the last phase of the shout-outs. Thank you very much. Women, children that are on the street that do not have, homes, or they're from broken homes, or they're just on the street, don't have parents or anyone to cater for them. And also our focus is on schools, most especially public schools. We have a lot of future, we have a lot of talent in public schools, but they don't have enough resources to push them out and to make them, go out and use their potential. So that's our major focus in the Queen Luciano Foundation. We started out last year, December. So you see that we're still very small, but we're doing great things, I can say. And I would like to use this medium to say a very big thank you to the most virtuous woman, or one of the virtuous women I've ever met in my whole entire life. She prioritizes humanity and doing charity and all of that. And that is the founder of this non-governmental organization, Queen Luciano Foundation, in person of Mrs. Lucy Tankoa. This is a picture. I don't know if the projector can show it on the screen. Please, a round of applause for her. She's not here in Nigeria. She's in the United States, but she's doing a lot of things. She traveled from here to the state, but because she has a country in mind, and most especially she's concerned about things that are regarding to women and children, and that is why she's really pushing the foundation. So since December that we have started, we have been able to work and achieve 3 pet projects. And the first one is feeding the destitute along Obadeshida Road. The projector is going to show it now. You believe me, you would agree with me sincerely that those people that are there they don't have access to quality water and food all the time. They just, eat, and whatever comes to them is what they eat. And that has given us a lot of concern in our foundation. And so we decided that the first thing at least we'll do, which we'll continue to do, not all the time, but at least subsequently as God gives us the grace to feed them. And this was our first pet project at Obadeshida Road. We were able to feed over 50 destitutes. We fed them with good food and clean water. Since they do not always have access to these things on a daily. Nǹkan tí mo sọ ní pé Luciano Foundation nǹkan tá a kọ́kọ́ fi ṣe project wa àkọ́kọ́ ní pé àwọn aláìní, àwọn tó máa ń tọrọ bárà tó wà níbi ọba Adéṣìdá yẹn, a lọ sọ́dọ̀ ìgbà tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn báyìí wọn ní wọn lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti jẹun gidi àti omi gidi lásìkò. Ẹ mọ̀ pé aláìní ni wọn, nǹkan tó bá rí náà ń jẹ. Eléyìí dẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ ó ká wa lára. So ó jẹ́ ẹ̀dùn ọkàn fún wa, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ìdí nìyẹn tí a fi ṣe oúnjẹ àti omi, a sì lọ sọ fún wa, lọ fìfẹ́ hàn sí wọn pé kán má rò pé ibi ìlàyé pín sí. Anybody's story can change at any time, and that is why we are going to show them love and give them food. Ohun tá a lọ ṣe ní project wa àkọ́kọ́ lélẹ̀. Eléyìí tá a fi ṣe project ẹlẹ́kejì, I will call that 2 in 1. Ní àyájọ́ ọjọ́ tí wọ́n celebrate ọjọ́ ìfẹ́, that is Valentine's Day. Normally, people would think that Valentine's Day, and even most of us believe that Valentine's Day is just to celebrate love with your boyfriend, your husband, your family, which is very good, of course. It is the celebration of love, it's the day to celebrate love. But we at Queen Luciano Foundation, instead of doing that, we took to the street and we went out. We extended our love, we extended our gifts to children at Onimalu Community High School at Ijoka. I'm sure even most of us don't know about this school in AKURE. It's far inside Ijoka, really far inside. And that school is supposed to be a government school. But you know, government has a lot on their hands that they have to, do. They cannot think of all the schools in all of AKURE. And this school has been lacking a lot of things. Now, on our first visitation to them, we visited them at first and we asked, okay, what do you need in this school? They told us, and we're working on that. I'll still come back to that. But near Ayajojo Valentine, so that I left me, so we'll be able to show them that we have not forgotten them. We took our gifts and went to educate the children about what Valentine really is. Valentine is not only about showing love to your boyfriend or your girlfriend. As a child, how can you celebrate Valentine? And I believe that if love is celebrated and if we love ourselves genuinely and we're charitable, the world would have changed from where we are today. So we had to teach them about the essence of Valentine's Day we are celebrating today. We went to enlighten the children about the Valentine's Day celebration. What was happening here was that we drew this cardboard, as you can see, in the love shape, and we told them to, write a shout out to people that they love and people that matters to them in their life, and what message do they have to say to children and people all over the world. And you'll be amazed as to how these people appreciated their parents, their loved ones, their sisters, those that are dead, those that are still alive, how they really appreciate them in their lives. So this was what the children was doing. As opposed to we just go to their school, maybe after school, and they start looking for their boyfriend and their girlfriend. That is not what Valentine is. So that was what we went to do at Queen Luciano Foundation. To educate them, and we also shared gifts with them. We had the cutting of the cake. We took group pictures, and we just had fun. It was a really big celebration for the children, and they were so happy, I tell you. And also, so on the same day, we left Onimalu Community High School. As you can see the pictures that are going on. We went to AKURE Leprosy Home. Please, I want to say something at this moment. If you know you are alive and you are healthy, I know a lot of people have problems, but you are alive and you are here today. Please just put a round of applause to the God who has created you. A round of applause for you, please. Please, a round of applause for you. Thank you very much. And why I'm saying this is because these people you are seeing here are regarded as the second-class citizens of the society. I want because of leprosy, and they don't have the opportunity to live the normal life that we live. If we live here now, we have our shops to go to, we have our families to go to. Everybody can hug you, mommy, share wife, and hug you. But these people, nobody will hug you because they said, no, we will reject or something like that. Yeah, they're the end time people, as people would call them. So we went as Queen Luciano Foundation to extend love to them. Of course, because of the COVID-19 protocol and because of a lot of things, we did not have close contact with them, but we were able to communicate to them and we had to hear how they're feeling and how it is to be in this situation. And I tell you, it is not a good thing. So we went there, we carried gifts for them. Of course, the government, I would not lie, the government is trying as much, but I feel like if we have other non-governmental organizations as this who brings gifts to them, food items, they need a lot of it because it is we that they feed on. It is what we bring that they feed on. So we're able to give them gifts. We bought cake for them. We celebrated them. You know, they prayed for us. They really prayed for us, and it was really wonderful. We had cutting of cakes, as you can see, all of them. And so that is it. So in the Queen Luciano Foundation, these are the 3 projects we have been able to achieve successfully. Yes, from December up to this present moment. And I'm saying that for us to start December and be able to achieve this, and this, I am sure that today's program is already successful, and if we end today's program, this will also be part of our portfolio for the Queen Luciano Foundation. So we're using, why are we saying all of this? We're using this medium to seek for your support, individual support. As the government cannot do it alone, we are non-governmental organizations, nobody is paying us. We are all volunteers, from the manager, from even the founder down to the least person in this foundation. We are not receiving salaries. We just try so hard to get 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 fundings there so that we can make things work. So we're using this medium to plead for your support. If you know, as organizations, support us. If you have any cases or you know people that we can meet that can help support the foundation, it is not all about money. One thing I've learned, so far about charity, is that it is not all about money. If you have a bag of rice and you feel like, okay, something happened that you have 2-3 bags of rice in your house, food will come and it will go. If there are material things that you can use to assist the foundation, oh, hello, call the office of the secretary. We have our website, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, our contact, we are going to drop it here before you leave. So you can call us to give out material things. We are not the ones eating it. As we have said, we have street children. We have plans, of course, for every month. We already have plans that we're going to be achieving for every month in the foundation. That is how effective we are in the Queen Luciano Foundation. So if you have any material things that you feel like you can use to support us, it's not compulsory you have millions of naira. This is how we can touch the world. This is how we're hearing things about, vulnerable children on the street, prostitution. I'm somebody that is very passionate about, young girls, most especially children, especially young girls. If we can listen to these people's story, and at least for those that have genuine reasons, or maybe being in broken homes, or they don't have things to eat, if we have these things, at least they know that this is an organization that is set to provide for them. They have hope. When there is life, there is hope. When they have hope that, okay, these people, they can always run to us and we will be able to help them. And we cannot do it alone. So please, we are using this opportunity to plead for your support. And you can always visit us, our offices. Our office is always open from Monday to Saturday, 8 o'clock to 5. You can come around in the office. And if you know people on your street that need help, please, that is very important. We're not witches and wizards that will monitor everything in the whole world. So if you have people that you know that are in need of this help genuinely, children on your street, women that don't have anything, that just, they have children, they cannot feed them, public school children that they don't have parents or anything to, school fees to pay, uniform, their uniform is torn. Some children will be going to school, like half of they're dressed in rags. This is not very nice. So if you can just help us so that we can help them and we can change the world. So please, always come to us. And if there's any organization, maybe you cannot do it yourself, but if there's any organization you feel that we can write to for support, and we're open to partnership. We're just that, so we're open to partnership. If there's any organization we can write to for support, please, we would appreciate it so much. Thank you very much once again. God bless you. QLF.
So please, QLF. All right, thank you so much, Ms. Dami Omotosho. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we will be projecting the address to the office on this projector right now. In case if we have 1 or 2 people that deem it fit to be like, okay, I want to know this office. I want to get through to them. I want to know more about Queen Luciano Foundation.
program is the role of women in society. So I'm going to blend the two together. So when we say the role of women in the world, we are talking about the role of women in the societies of the world. But before I proceed, I would like to sing this song, sung by Shola Listen. Mi mo pe lọ́la, obìnrin mi, máa rìn máa ṣoge, máa rìn bí ẹni ẹ̀gbẹ́, máa tún ṣapá gẹ́gẹ́. Èmi lolùrànlọ́wọ́ ọmọ èmi ni, èmi lábẹ́lì ọgbọ́n Elédùmarè ló yàn mí, èmi nìyá kó wá ẹgbẹ́ mi. Mo fi gbogbo ara ṣẹwà Ẹlẹ́dàá mo dúpẹ́, kò sáṣìṣe níṣẹ̀dá mi, ẹ bá mi yọ̀. Now, for the benefit of those who don't understand Yoruba, that song says, I am a woman. I am complete in richness. I walk in stylish way. I walk slouchly, as if I have side pain. Every part of my body is beauty. I am the president of my society. God, I am grateful. There is no mistake in my creation. I am the angel of my children. Now, this song is a summary of the role of women in society. As a woman, first we are daughters, then we become wives, then mothers, sisters-in-law, daughters-in-law. We have different roles we play. But now you want to streamline this to the role of women in societies all over the world. The role of women in societies vary. From the Western world to Africa to matriarchal societies, role of women vary. But before I proceed, I would like to correct an impression
the announcer has been announcing me as Dr. Mrs. I am just Mrs. I'm not yet a doctor. I am Dr. Ibiu. Okay, so let me correct that. Okay. Now, women are the epitome of strength, love, sacrifice, and courage. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí obìnrin, a jẹ́ agbára, a jẹ́ ìfẹ́, a sì jẹ́ ẹni like courage, tó ń sọ fún, tó ń dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí alátìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn tó wà ní sàkání wa. Now, the role of women in today's world has changed significantly for better. Nípa tí obìnrin kọ́ láyé lóde òní, ó ti yí padà ju ti àtẹ̀yìnwá lọ. Women are now self-sufficient. Nísìnyí ara àwọn obìnrin tó ń dá dúró láyé ara wọn. Well aware and financially independent. Lẹ́yìn ara àwọn obìnrin tó ní owó ara wọn tí wọn ò dúró di kankan mú owó wá, kó tó tọ́jú ọmọ, kó tó tọ́jú ilé, àti ní àwọn obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀. They have attained immense success in every field, whether it is sports, politics, or academics. Àti ní àwọn obìnrin tí wọ́n ti ṣoríire ní gbogbo ibi. Bó jẹ́ nínú ètò òṣèlú ni, àbí nínú eré ìje, àti ní àwọn obìnrin tó ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù káàkiri. With the encouragement of co-education, women are now marching side by side with men in every walk of life. Nísìnyí tá ti rí iléèwé tó jẹ́ obìnrin àti ọkùnrin, a ti rí àwọn obìnrin tó ń rìn fẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọkùnrin ní ayé òde òní. Now, women empowerment. Ìròyìn lágbára fún àwọn obìnrin. The 21st century has brought a new hope and has empowered women in a positive manner. Ní ayé tá a wà yìí, this rẹ̀ ní ayé wa yìí, ní ayé 20 stands for it. That is the 21st century. A sì rí pé a ti fún àwọn obìnrin ní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé fún ọjọ́ iwájú. Okay? Then earlier, they were under the shadow of a husband or a father. Tẹ́lẹ̀, a rí fáwọn obìnrin abẹ́ ọkọ náà wà, àbí abẹ́ bàbá. Nísìnyí a ṣe rí pé àwọn obìnrin ti ń jáde, wọ́n ti ń ṣàkíyàn láti ṣe bó ṣe yẹ kán ṣe ní àwùjọ. But now they have established their own identity and are independent. That is the life that women are living right now. As now we're something that like their Now, education is an important key to success. Ẹ̀kọ́ ó jẹ́ ohun kan tó ń fún àwọn obìnrin lágbára láti ṣàṣeyọrí ní ayé tí a wà yìí. That is education. Nísìnyí tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin nìkan ló ní àǹfààní láti máa lọ sí iléèwé. Before, it was only men that were given the right to education. Now, we have women being given rights to education. Yeah, that is what is adding more to the success they are faring in their lives. Okay? This is that fáwọn obìnrin láǹfààní láti lọ sí iléèwé. Òun ló fún wọn ní agbára láti máa ṣe àṣeyọrí tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Now, empowering women would become more pertinent if women were well informed and educated. Okay? Ìròyìn lágbára fáwọn obìnrin, wọ́n máa túbọ̀ ṣe kókó sí. Tí àwọn obìnrin wa tó bá túbọ̀ lọ sí iléèwé, tó túbọ̀ ní ìmọ̀ kún ìmọ̀. Okay? A woman needs to understand her rights so that she can work at par with men. Àwọn obìnrin wọ́n ní láti mọ ẹ̀tọ́ wọn, wọ́n lè rìn gbẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọkùnrin. As women, we need to know our rights. Okay? In every
section everywhere we are as women. We need to know our rights. Our brain that's my tower. And more total at the 80 okay? Mother Teresa, Indra Nooyi, Pratibha Patil, Kalpana, Chola, and lots more have been very significant in their own sphere and are an idol for every woman in India and across the globe. And what about Timothy dying? And what brings one to shape, not to go back to in India anymore. Now, change the role of women. Now, the role of women has changed tremendously, and they have been able to create a positive impression in the society. Okay, from housewives to CEOs. Okay, nísìnyí àṣírí àwọn obìnrin ipa tó ń kó ní àwùjọ àṣírí àwọn obìnrin tó ti sọ pé okay àwọn ò ṣe ìyàwó nìkan ìyàwó ilé nìkan àwọn máa jẹ́ olórí ilé iṣẹ́ ńláńlá at the CEOs. Then the transition can be seen at an accelerating rate. Modernization at the advent of latest technology are providing hope and opportunities for them. They have established themselves socially, politically, and economically in almost every field. Women are no longer considered unfit or weak for military or other defense forces. Okay? Now, Kama fi àkókò wa ṣòfò. Ká lọ sí the actual role of women in the society. Now, a woman as a wife, obìnrin gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyàwó. A woman as a wife is expected to support the husband. A woman as a wife is expected to be a pillar post for the husband. Somebody that the husband can depend on. Somebody who is there to advise the husband and be his support system. When you bring a baby, ẹni tí ọkọ lè gbé ọkàn lé tó máa dúró síbẹ̀ fún ọkùnrin láti fún ní ìyànjú láti gbà níyànjú láti dúró sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí òpó tó lè gbé ọkàn lé tó lè fara tẹ̀. Okay, then that is as a wife. Then also as an administrator and leader of household. Okay, a woman is the one who is in charge of the administration of the household. She's the one who is going to wash the clothes, iron it, sweep the house, take care of the whole house. Okay, that is a woman. Wọ́n ní obìnrin ló ń ṣe àkóso ilé, obìnrin ló máa gbálẹ̀, òun lá ṣe ìtọ́jú ilé, òun ló máa ṣoúnjẹ, òun lá lọ aṣọ nígbà tó bá fọ̀ tán. Iṣẹ́ obìnrin nìyẹn. Ká má gbàgbé, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ obìnrin ní àwùjọ. A sọ pé obìnrin, a woman is the manager of family income. Okay? Obìnrin ló ń ṣe àkóso owó ilé. This may not be common in our society here. Eléyìí lè máa wọ́pọ̀ ní àwùjọ wa níbí. But if you go to India, it is a woman that handles the income of the family. When the husband goes to work, comes back, he hands over the income, the money, to a woman. So the woman that knows how to spend the money, that is in India. She'll bring me in. Talk about to go see India, talk about to go see Bishan, to bá ti dé, owó tó bá ti mú wá, a kò lé obìnrin lọ́wọ́. Obìnrin ló mọ bó ṣe máa ná owó yẹn. Ó mọ oye owó tó ń wọlé, ó mọ bó ṣe máa ná owó, ó mọ oye owó tó ń jáde. That is a role of women in a society also. And as a manager of income coming into the family. Then our women also stand as health givers. Okay? They know when the children are sick. They know when they are ill. They are the ones who handle the care of the children. They make sure that health-wise the children are okay. Even the husband, okay, they make sure the husband is in good health. Okay, what I'm trying to say is when àwọn obìnrin, àwọn ni bí dókítà inú ilé, àwọn náà máa sọ, àwọn náà mọ ìgbà tí ara ọmọ gbóná, àwọn náà mọ ìgbà tí ara ọkọ ò yá, àwọn náà máa lọ gbá oògùn. A woman is supposed to even know the correct drug to administer when a child is feeling hot, having hot temperature, or having high temperature, or is having headache, or stomach pain. Okay, when you get to the house to the room of your woman, you should see different drugs. I think you must be able to apply first aid first to the children or to the husband when it seems as if the health is down. And at the same time, women are the ones in charge of discipline in the home. When àwọn obìnrin iṣẹ́ wa tó ní láti rí pé àwọn ọmọ wa dàgbà ní ọmọ ní ẹ̀kọ́ ilé. It is the role of women to administer discipline. If I joking, like as if they were just listening to jokes. The comedians made us realize that women are good disciplinarians. Even before the men, the husband, come home to enforce it, it has to come straight from the mother first. You hear them saying, if they want to collect food, they have to look at the mother first. Okay? When the mother says, Jay, that means you dare not take it. So that means as women, we have to enforce discipline in our homes. We have to make sure that our children are well groomed. Okay? That is coming straight from us as women. And as I've said before, I said we have different societies. We have the Western society. In the Western world, okay, before women were not free, they were not allowed to vote, women were not allowed to own properties, women were not allowed to even work. Okay, even if they work, their pay was lower than that of men. But some women came out, the likes of Lucretia Mott came out, they fought for this. And today, we have women being given the rights to vote, okay? And in the Western world today, we see even men sit down at home, while women are the ones sourcing for the needs of the family. That is, the role of women in the Western world has actually increased. There are the remote tribal communities. When we talk about remote tribal communities, we are talking about the likes of, and it's South America, and that is North, then the North Africa. Now, in North Africa, we have women. We have women being relegated to the background, to the extent that a woman has no say as per the number of wives the husband has. It is the husband that goes out to bring in the money, while the woman has no say. Then in developing nations, we have, that is where we have Africa, Asia, and South America. Okay? Now, in this area, that is where we in Nigeria we come in. We have situations whereby we have children getting pregnant, children getting married. Okay? We have children, okay, being forced to go into marriage. And that is in these parts of the world. Then the matriarchal society, okay? In matriarchal societies, we have the Amazons. The Amazons that is that rule the Themyscira. That is the Wonder Women world. Now, this matriarchal society is said to be that is the when life was in the olden days, where women ruled the world. That is in the olden days, before it was later changed. Now let me conclude. The journey of liberation of women has crossed many milestones, and the society has indeed come a long way. They have struggled hard over the last few decades, but still been able to successfully establish their own identity. That is women. Today's women are adorned with patience and perseverance, which has helped them to attain the pinnacle of success. Earlier, today, along with handling tough clients at office, they successfully multitask at home too. Women are more focused and have a unique decision-making power, even at senior leadership level, in the most optimal manner, and at times are in a better position than men. Empowering women can help society to grow and develop at a faster pace. We are definitely redesigning the world.
Good afternoon. Those at the high table. The founder will be represented by Mr. Wifo. Thank you. Sorry for taking your time. I know you're not used to this, but please put your hands together for the founder, Mr. Wifo. Thank you so much. And thanks to our two speakers. One has left. Thank you so much, Ma. May God continue to bless you. And to our able father, we are very grateful to have you. Thank you so much. And to my boss, Sir Alumide, thank you for all you've been, and thank you for supporting the foundation always. Like I said during my speech, that at this event, the climax of this event is the empowerment section. 10 women is going to smile home today. 10 of our women from different organizations. 10 organizations have been invited to this event. And each of the organizations, one person has been picked for empowerment. And the name was not from us. It was the organization that sent the name. In case we call on anybody for the empowerment, we're not the one that picked the name. We gave the organization the leverage to send name to us, which they did. We'll be giving you a check today. We'll be giving you a check today to support your business. And the money is not to buy biscuits. The money is for you to buy the equipment you want to use for your work. And the foundation will make sure they monitor you to see that you use this money judiciously for what is meant for. So my dear mothers, I'm appealing, and to the president of various organizations, you have to make sure that your members use this money for what it's meant for. Not for Ashiebi, not for party, but for that particular purpose. And I pray God will continue to bless us in Jesus' name. So I will call on the community project coordinator to read out the names and the organizations. As you hear your name, please come forward for the empowerment. Thank you. QLF.
No, the first group we have here is DQ
particular society, and the person nominated by society is Mrs. Olani Itawa Kalito Aduke.
So we'll be inviting the founder to do this first presentation. I call on the representative of the founder, Mr. Waifo. Please come forward. Then the group can come forward. That group members, please come forward and join your member.
And the next society here is the Ifenere Women Cooperative Society, and the nominee for the society is Oseni Glory. Celestial Women Council, and the nominee is Mrs. Okundari Muturayo. And the next group we have here is the CWO, Mary L. That is the Catholic Women Organization, Mary L. Church, and the nominee is Mrs. Amaka Williams.
I'm very grateful to the house. May God bless you all.
And we have the Tito Beloluwa Women Group, and for this group we have Mrs. Okoro Rachel. Mrs. Blessing James. Mrs. Blessing James, right? And for number 7, we have the Anobiloniba Society, and the nominee for this group is Mrs. Mika Il Shukurat.
Luciano Foundation, and I pray to them that may Almighty Allah will continue to bless them and increase their power.
And the nominee is Mrs. Jayoba Veronica Omowumi. Mrs. Jayoba Veronica Omowumi.
I appreciate Luciano Foundation for this kind gesture to women. And I pray that God Almighty will continue to bless this foundation and give them the strength to do more in other people. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Ayobami Olakoni. And for Voice of God group, we have Mrs. Lawal Stella. Women, and the nominee is Mrs. John Janet. Mrs. John Janet.
This is to inform all the beneficiaries that you come to our office to collect the real check. This one is the paper check. So when the time comes, please, before you go, drop your number and name with the secretary. Some of you didn't send your number. Please do well to drop your number so that when the check is ready, we can call upon you to come to the office and get the real check so you can go and cash out your money. Thank you.
Okay, as it's with every event, there's always a beginning and an end. And while the end comes. It is the beginning of something new. For us to take home what we have learned from here. For us to apply them in our daily lives. For us to have a renewed mindset. For us to see things differently, and for us to treat everyone as equals. Promote equality, for us to build a better foundation for our future and the future of our dear ones. This I urge all of us today. In our various communities, we should always remember what needs to be done. According to the United Nations, about 70% of the 1.3 billion people living in conditions of poverty are women. In urban areas, 40% of the poorest households are headed by women. This should be a wake-up call for all of us. Empower yourselves and empower your girl child. Give adequate education to her as you would to your male child. And also train up your male child to believe in gender equality. The era of giving birth to the girl child just to send her off to marriage is in the past. While marriage is important, it is important that she has a purpose. It is important that you are useful. Some of you here are breadwinners of your family, and as such, it is important that you are empowered so that you can in turn take care of your family. While we live here, we can only hope to break the bias if we decide to act now. I wish you all the best in all you do, and as you go back to your various communities, become an agent of change and break the bias. This program wouldn't have been successful without you all. Thank you to our guest speakers. The talks were insightful. To our invited guests, thank you. Thanks to our Reverend Fathers. Thank you, dear women and mothers, for coming. And to the QLF team, thank you very much. Thank you all for your continued support to our dear foundation. We appreciate all you do. May the Lord lead you safely back to your destination. Queen Luciano Foundation, building a strong foundation for the future. Thank you very much.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our help is in the name of the Lord. Amen. Eternal Father, we thank you for the journey so far. We thank you for being with us in the course of this program. As the program has come to a close, we ask the Lord to bless each and every one of us as we return back to our different destinations. We thank you as well for the initiator of this program and the foundation. We ask you, Lord, to continue to bless her and bless her families, and bless the board members as they continue to steer on the wheel of progress and development of these foundations. And all of us together, and those who have benefited from this day's program, we pray, God, to continue to bless the work of your hands and grant up. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
All right, I have with me here the Secretary, Board of Trustee for the Queen Luciano Foundation and President of Mr. Owaifo Osayogere. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you.
I must say that today's event, which the foundation has organized, has been very amazing, as most of the women have gained a lot, most especially the empowerment part. But can you give us a brief of why this celebration is important today to the foundation?
Okay, it's very important because as a foundation, we believe in helping women and children. And today being the International Women's Day, it's a day for us to reach out to the women in our community and give back to them by enlightening them and also supporting them in their business one way or the other. Thank you.
So in subsequent time, what is the plan that the foundation has, and most especially as you're the secretary board of trustee, I'm sure that there are a lot of programs that will be coming up subsequently to celebrate and empower women and children. So can you just give us a brief of that?
Yes, of course. As a foundation, we always have programs lined up. Yeah, going forward, we are going to try to help more women and even children, those in the streets and those in public schools, those that cannot help themselves. In one way or the other, we'll be reaching out to more people, devising means in which to help them and coming up with plans that we can use to make that happen.
All right, it has been a wonderful day here today at the Royal Birth Hotel and Towers ALAGBAKA, AKURE, where we had the celebration for the International Women's Day in Ondo State. The host is the Queen Luciano Foundation, of course. It has been really amazing here as we had 10 women from different associations in Ondo State whom were empowered today, and of course we had breast cancer and cervical cancer enlightenment amongst others. This is Queen Luciano Foundation, and I will say happy International Women's Day celebration. Bye.